So here's my sample screencast for what you should do. All right, so for my magazine covers that I found, I noticed that I like a lot of stuff with topography. I also like some of the Photoshop stuff that's happening here where it's merging multiple images together. I thought that was a really neat effect. I do like the handwritten text. That's kind of cool. I also have found that some of the stuff that's jumping out at me is some of the black and white images. I really like that. I also like how they did the flowers and stuff running through here in the title. Some of the other things that I noticed that's pretty common is people cutting around or photoshopping around the head so that the head goes in front of the text, which I think is pretty interesting. Same kind of thing there, same kind of thing there. You can see that happening up here as well as here. The thing I know I'm going to have to be careful of is with my magazine title, it's going to be, I can't completely obscure the whole thing because magazines that have been around for a long time, I get that they could hide it and that's still recognizable as Rolling Stone. But with my magazine, it's not going to be a title that people have ever used before, so I don't want to cover the whole thing up. I also like the idea of doing collage kind of stuff like this or doing these kind of cool black and white kind of covers and stuff, which I think is pretty neat too. Now, as far as my particular magazine, what I'm looking to do is I want to do something about pugs. So I want to make a magazine that's all about pugs and is for people who are obsessed with pugs. So for my possible magazine names, I'm still kind of toying around with this. I'm not going to lock myself in 100%, but I'm thinking Pug Life, Googly Eyes, or Pug Aficionado. I don't know, I might change those around a little bit, but right now I'm kind of leaning towards Pug Life, just because I kind of like the 90s gangster rap kind of feel to that. Now, possible taglines, it's really going to depend on what my magazine name is. So for my tagline or selling line, it's like a cult-like obsession, curly tails and all. For the childless owner, it's kind of me. Or streetwise and sassy. I think that one's kind of fun too. So it just depends on what I want to do, and that'll be much smaller. Now, a couple of my article ideas I think will definitely tie into when I finalize on the name, but I may do something with like a Move Over Doug the Pug because he's probably the most famous pug, at least outside of Sarah, because Barney, come on now. Then I got Snort Secrets. That's the mystery of the sounds revealed. My dog makes a ton of noises, so I think that could be a fun little article. Or if I had a big giant picture of Barney's face, I might do something like OG Barney, an exclusive interview with the King of Canines. And then maybe I'll do something with like the Chinese, like the history, the fact that pugs were originally bred to warm the emperor's laps. So that might be kind of fun to do some kind of history of pugs or something. I'm also thinking with these articles, I'm kind of thinking ahead to the magazine spread that I'm going to end up having to make. So I'm trying to think of what that article would look like, and I could probably find a lot of cool history images. So maybe I'll use that as one of my articles. Now, as far as my ideas for photoshopping, I was thinking of doing something maybe like turn a Photoshop face of my dog into some kind of old painting or something to make it look like it was royalty. Maybe I'll do some kind of avant-garde, kind of cool like slash of color and black and white across the dog's faces, or maybe I'll do something with like the Great Wall of China and have tons of little baby pugs walking along, or a giant one climbing over it. So that could be kind of cool. So it'll really depend on what I want my main article to be. But those are some of my ideas for the photoshopping. Now, back here on my board, aside from the magazines, I also have some of the images that I may end up using for the cover that gave me some inspiration. So I kind of like some of the stuff that's happening here. These would be good ones that I could potentially use, like if I did Pug Life. If I did some kind of Great Wall of China, I kind of like this idea of maybe doing something where I turn the image into an old like travel poster or something and work a way to fit my dog in there. I've included a couple other pictures of my dog, got some other pictures of pugs, the Great Wall of China. So those are some of the images that I may consider using, but I'm going to really have to do quite a bit of photoshopping to cut stuff out to be able to pull it all together. Thank you for watching my screencast. Let me know if there's anything you want to know.